Okay, let's jump right into this deep dive. We looked at the sources, and they paint this really well thought-provoking picture.
Hmm.
This idea that our minds are, constantly being influenced, maybe even sort of hacked by outside forces.
Yeah, it's fascinating, actually. The sources really detail these pretty sophisticated psychological techniques that corporations, algorithms, even others are using.
Right.
It's definitely more than just basic advertising. We're talking about actively shaping your attention, nudging emotions, and, well, ultimately trying to sway your beliefs.
So the goal here for you listening is to get a handle on how this stuff works, to
Mm.
like see those invisible strings the sources talk about.
And maybe figure out how to resist them a bit.
Exactly. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How much of what feels like your own choice is actually well engineered?
That's the core question, really.
Okay, so first up, how do they even grab our attention? The sources spend a lot of time on this thing called the attention economy.
Yes, it really does feel like a constant fight for your focus, right? Because for these platforms, these companies, your attention, that's the currency. That's value. That's money.
And how they keep you glued, according to these sources, is pretty clever. They use things like variable reward systems.
Right. Like slot machines, basically.
Yeah, exactly like slot machines. You pull the lever or you scroll the feed, and you might get a reward or like a notification, something interesting.
But you never know when. And that uncertainty, that's what keeps you coming back. It's the same psychology.
It really is. And the scale of it.
Yeah.
Wow, one statistic from the sources really jumped out at me. The average person checks their phone, get this, 58 times a day.
58. That's huge.
It's not like 58 conscious decisions, right? It suggests this subconscious loop, a trigger response thing that the sources argue is being, well, programmed into us.
Which is a perfect lead-in to the next point.
Yeah.
What happens after they have your attention? The sources really dig into the algorithm's influence.
Yeah, and this is where it gets a bit maybe unsettling. Algorithms aren't just recommending stuff passively.
No, they're actively shaping your reality, in a way.
So if you click on, say, one type of video or article, the algorithm doesn't just show you more of the same. It can push you further and further down that specific path.
Creating what the sources call an echo chamber.
Exactly. A feedback loop where you mostly see things that just confirm what you already think or feel. It limits exposure to different ideas.
And that constant drip, drip, drip of similar information can, over time, the sources suggest it can actually start to, like, rewire your brain pathways.
Making you feel like you're exploring freely when maybe you're just being guided down certain channels.
Channels that are often profitable for someone else.
And it's not just information online. This hacking goes straight into your wallet, too. The sources talk about neuromarketing.
Oh, yeah, the billion-dollar industry focused on consumer behavior, targeting your subconscious to get you to buy things.
They give some pretty concrete examples, too, like colors in fast food logos. Red and yellow supposedly stimulate hunger, maybe impulsivity.
Or think about design features, like Amazon's one-click buy.
Ah, yes, so simple.
It's specifically designed to remove friction, right? To eliminate that pause where you might second-guess the purchase, makes spending almost automatic.
It really does. Like one source said, you're being programmed to shop, optimized for unconscious buying.
So, okay, it sounds a bit bleak, but do the sources offer any way out? Any way to reclaim some control?
They do, yeah. They frame it as sort of fighting back. They suggest strategies.
Like what?
Things like a digital detox, intentionally putting the phone down, stepping away.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
Practicing algorithm resistance, actively looking for different viewpoints, stuff outside your usual bubble.
So breaking the echo chamber yourself.
Right. And engaging in mindful consumption.
Yeah.
Asking yourself, okay, why am I seeing this? What's the motive here?
That requires critical thinking, doesn't it? Fact-checking, spotting emotional manipulation.
Definitely. And one more thing they really emphasize, the value of just silence, time offline, finding clarity away from all that noise.
Getting back to your own thoughts, maybe.
Pretty much. So, yeah, while the pressure is definitely there, the sources seem to agree. The first step, the crucial step, is just awareness, knowing this is happening.
Right. Awareness gives you that moment, that chance to pause, question the impulse, maybe choose differently. Choose your response, not the programmed one.
It does. Okay, so wrapping this up, here's a final thought for you to chew on. Think about those moments in your day. Maybe you're scrolling, maybe you see an ad, and you feel this sudden urge, this strong emotion. Could that feeling be less about your genuine reaction in that moment, and maybe more of a response that's been subtly triggered, even pre-programmed by these systems, all vying for a piece of your mind. Something to think about.